Good afternoon, and thank you for being with us here today. My name is Sarah Reemsma with the Royal Neighbors Foundation. We're so excited that you've all taken time out of your busy schedules to join us for our first live webinar titled Spring Cleaning for Your Finances. The Royal Neighbors Foundation is a 501c3 public charity that is dedicated to building women's futures through financial education. Our goal is to reach out to women across the country to provide valuable resources to help them become financially secure. We are very proud to have with us certified financial planner Lyons. She believes so strongly in financial education that she has made a career of helping others strengthen their financial position and become comfortable in managing their money. Please help me welcome Lyons.
Hi, everybody. Sarah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be joining the Royal Neighbors Foundation today to talk about spring cleaning for your finances. As Sarah said, my name is Lyons, and I'm a certified financial planner. I'm based out of New York City, and I travel all around the country helping women and really everyone learn more about how best to manage their finances. So this is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and I'm excited to be here with all of you today. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Spring cleaning for your finances. Now, if you're anything like me, I love spring cleaning. In fact, I just went through last weekend and did a really deep cleaning of my house, went through my closet. It's just one of those things when the weather finally starts getting warmer, you're so happy to be able to, out with the old and in with the new. And it's a really great time to sit down and think about your money as well. Spring is a wonderful time. It's new beginnings, and there's a lot that you can do if you are thinking about your money. Now, the top 3 things that we're going to talk about today that you should do this spring for your finances. Number 1, stock up for the summer spending surge. We'll talk more about that in a second. Number 2, organize and simplify your accounts. In connection with the spring cleaning, just going to do out with the old and in with the new. And number 3, find inspiration in new beginnings. So number 1, stock up for the summer spending surge. For some reason, summer is always a time of higher spending. Budgets seem to go out the window. The kids are home from school, you've got summer vacation, going on trips with the family, all sorts of things that make summer more expensive. So the important thing is to plan in advance for that. Don't get caught off guard when it comes time for summer. Think about these sort of things in advance. There's a lot of things in the springtime that you can do to help prepare yourself for that extra spending in the summer. And of course, the big one, which a lot of people probably just saw hit their bank account, is your tax refund. So with a tax refund, you could go spend it now, or you could put it towards other goals, but take a portion of it and set it aside in your savings account for your summer spending. Okay, that's a great, easy way to get back on track with saving for summer. Another thing you can do is, take a look at your credit card spending. Okay, go through and evaluate your recurring monthly expenses. And you want to eliminate or reduce those where possible. Things that might be on that list would be premium channels on your cable. So if you've got HBO or Showtime and you're never watching it, get rid of it. That's like, $12 a month? That's money in your pocket right there, over $100 a year. Maybe your newspaper subscription, if they're just piling up and you're never reading them, get rid of the newspaper subscription. Netflix, even your cell phone bill, anything that you can go through and kind of eliminate or reduce a little bit, that can really add up, especially going into the summer months where other spending becomes much more likely. And the last thing you can do, which is one of my favorite ways to make money, is actually to get rid of your closet clutter by selling stuff on eBay. Now, there's plenty of articles online, so if you're interested in this as an idea, you'll want to just Google how to sell stuff on eBay. And you can easily come up with a lot of really good instructions where it'll walk you through doing it. But the reason to do this is that some stuff that you have sitting around your house that you're never using, that's taking up space and collecting dust, those things might very well be worth money to other people. An example of that is just now, I just recently bought a new pair of running shoes off eBay. And it was someone who had bought the running shoes and then decided that they weren't going to use them. And so for me, it was a great way to get really nice, new, expensive running shoes for a discount. And for that person, it was a way to, it was too late. They couldn't return them to the store. So at least it was a way to recoup some of the money that they had spent. Now, I have a feeling if you go through your closet or go through your kitchen, go through your house, you'll probably find a few $100s worth of stuff just sitting around. And if you take the time to list those things on eBay, you will probably be shocked at how quickly those things will sell. A few tips, keep in mind that the more pictures, the better. Describe the item really well, as honestly as possible. If it's a shoe that you wore 3 times, don't say that it's a brand new shoe. Say that it's gently used or whatever. But it's worth it to just risk the items, to list the items. If the items don't sell, you've lost nothing. But if they do sell, you'll have a little bit extra cash in your pocket. And that's a great way to start bulking up for the summer spending surge. Okay, so again, anything you can do to really make your account a little bit more beefy right before you get back to spending so much during the summer. Now, the second thing that you should do this summer to make sure that you are on track this spring, for spring cleaning, make sure that you're on track with all of your goals, is to organize and simplify your accounts. This is one of those things that it's easy to keep putting by the wayside and thinking, I'll do it next week, because there's something really tedious about paperwork associated with organizing accounts. And I get that, I really do. But spring is a wonderful time, especially one of those rainy Saturday mornings when there's really nothing to do and the kids are watching a movie and so you've got a little time on your hands. Just focus, say, I'm going to do this. It'll take you 30 minutes or less, and you'll be so glad that you did. So there's 2 different types of accounts I want you to think about organizing. The first set would be your checking and savings accounts. Now, I see this so often where people that I meet or work with are spending so much in fees for their bank. And here's the thing. Your bank is lucky to have you as a customer, okay? So they need to treat you with respect. And if you don't feel like you're getting the respect you deserve from your bank, then take your business elsewhere. It will not hurt your credit score. There's absolutely no negative consequence for you to move on and go to a new bank. Now, there's a big trend lately, which you're probably aware of. Maybe some of you are already using these types of banks, but online banks where you don't have a brick and mortar actual bank are popping up. So, ING is an example of this. Ally is another example of this. And there's, plenty of other options you could look at too. These sorts of banks oftentimes have less fees, charge less in fees, and they also will allow you to use any ATM anywhere and reimburse you for the fees. You might even be able to get a checking account that pays you interest. Now, interest rates are really low right now, but still, any interest rate is better than no interest rate, okay? So whatever you're comfortable with, you could also look for just your local community bank or if you need a brick and mortar bank, but just make sure that you're not overpaying on fees and losing out on the type of customer service that you deserve. Don't be afraid to demand respect from your financial services institutions that you're using. Another thing to keep in mind is that it's worthwhile to streamline your accounts. So if you've got 6 different savings accounts spread out everywhere, close some of them, consolidate them, bring it all together, make it a lot easier to keep track of for you. This is just going to make your life a lot simpler. Okay. The other thing that I would encourage you to do, and this takes a little bit more effort, a little bit more energy, but consolidating your old retirement accounts or just dealing with your retirement accounts in general. Retirement accounts are totally something it's like, out of sight, out of mind. I'm not going to think about it. Hopefully I'll be fine when I get to retirement. But every spring really is a great time to just check back in and see what sort of changes you can make to update your retirement situation. So the first thing I would encourage you to do is to roll over any old 401k accounts that you have sitting around. And it's pretty easy to do that, especially if you already have a relationship with a brokerage service like Vanguard or Fidelity. You can just call their customer service representatives and tell them, hey, I have this old 401k, I need to roll it over, can you help me? And they will totally walk you through the process of, this is the paper that you need to sign, mail this here. It takes a little bit of work, but it's worth it in the end because you can have all your money in one place and you know how to keep track of it. Another thing that is a great spring cleaning item for your retirement account is to look at your investment allocation. And again, if you have a relationship, whether with your current 401k or your brokerage account, if you have an IRA, you have a relationship with a customer service representative, you can call and just say, I don't know, Lauren told me that I need to deal with my investment allocation. Can you do something to help me? And a lot of times these representatives are excellent, and they can walk you through taking a risk tolerance questionnaire and looking at what investments you have now to see if you need to change anything. Don't be afraid to call and ask for help. And if they can't help you, they might be able to point you in the right direction so that you can find the people who can. And while you're at it, with all of your retirement accounts, every spring or anytime something in your family changes, make sure that your beneficiaries are up to date. Okay, so if you've had a new kid and you haven't updated your beneficiary information yet, do that. Or if you've changed relationships or if something in your family has changed, sisters, brothers, parents, whatever, make sure that the right people are listed on your retirement account as your beneficiary. So, not the most fun way to spend a Saturday, but if it's raining and the kids are busy anyway, it'll feel so good once you're done. So it's totally worth it. And the last thing that I want to talk about since it's spring is finding inspiration in new beginnings. As the flowers start to bloom and the trees are, before all the pollen hits, the trees are starting to get green again and everything is so beautiful and new in spring, there's a lot of forward momentum. It's like people start revisiting their healthy eating plan, or, getting outside, being active with the kids, thinking excitedly about summer plans. While you're getting caught up in that kind of spring momentum, take a second and look at your finances as well. Now, if there's some sort of goal that you had in mind, but you haven't dealt with it, or it's, something that you put off towards the future, like maybe finally paying off your credit card debt, or saving for a home, or planning a kitchen remodel, or, maybe it's even a trip somewhere exciting like Italy. If there's something that's really been inside of you that you've really been dying to do, don't be afraid to set that goal this spring. Figure out what it's going to take to reach that goal. Okay, so if it's paying off your credit card debt, there are great calculators you can use. The CNN has one called the Debt Planner Calculator. You can Google that, CNN Debt Planner Calculator. And it will walk you through exactly what you need to do every single month to make sure that you're on track to paying off your credit card. And maybe you can even set that to be done by the end of this year. Maybe it's going to take 5 years. But don't delay. Go ahead and take this momentum from spring and start working towards that goal. Or if you've been hoping for a kitchen remodel, this is a great time, especially a great time to start pricing things and looking online. Maybe you can use Pinterest to get your ideas going and come up with a budget. How much is it going to cost you? And again, we already talked about cutting back during springtime to sort of save up for the summer spending surge. But you can cut back a little bit further and start allocating money towards these goals as well. So spring is really a time to just let the past be the past. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty. But get excited about the things that you can achieve and start making actionable steps that you can work towards, that you can use to work towards, that you are in the direction of achieving these goals. And you'd be surprised. It probably will happen sooner than you even realize. I always think about a body in this saying, I guess it's gravity, or I don't know. A body in motion likes to stay in motion. So I always think about that when it comes to working towards goals. If you just start working towards the goal, a lot of times your momentum just keeps going and you really get there a lot faster than you would think that you would have. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of that sort of energy that we have this spring and start working on your financial goals that you've been delaying a little bit. Now is definitely the time. And on that note, that is our presentation for today, Spring Cleaning for Your Finances, the top 3 things you should do now. And I would encourage you to visit royalneighborsfoundation.org, royalneighborsfoundation.org. They've got lots of great calculators, great articles, plenty of things you can use to help you achieve all of these spring cleaning goals that we've outlined for you today. You can also like Royal Neighbors Foundation on Facebook, and that'll keep you up to date with all of the new things we're doing. We've got a lot of great webinars coming up, and we really, really love to have you join us for those. So like Royal Neighbors Foundation on Facebook. You can also sign up for their mailing list. That's at their website as well. And you can also like me on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Lauren Lyons Cole, and you'll stay up to date with both of us with all sorts of great motivational tips for staying on track for all of your goals as we move from spring into summer and beyond. We're here to support you. So thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully you've gotten some good ideas out of this presentation today. And if there's anything you'd like us to talk about in a future webinar, please do be in touch. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lauren. On behalf of Royal Neighbors Foundation and Certified Financial Planner Lauren Lyons Cole, I'd like to thank you all for taking time and hope to see you at the next webinar. Thank you.
Thanks.